Happy Friday again, everybody. Let's begin standing up. We're going to do a little bit of energy clearing in a moment. So as you stand upright with the feet apart, just close your eyes and let your left hand rest on your heart, right hand on the lower belly. Feel the way that your body is aligned here, your posture, without trying to shift it or change it in a moment. Just notice what mood your mind is in. Notice your body's energetic state. Feel into what your physical sensations have to say, as well as the quality of your breathing. And now take some deep arriving breaths. Draw the breath out to your mouth. With each new inhalation, imagine expanding the breath beyond your lungs, beyond even your belly, beyond your torso. As though with each new breath, you can expand all the way to the ends of your physical body a little bit more. Inhaling down to the soles of your feet and up to the crown of your head, the left and right edges of the body, the front and back sides. So taking a moment to acknowledge and accept where you are in your states of being. Noticing if you're in the perception right now that the glass is half full or half empty, or neutral. So that as we begin to fill our glass to overflow through this practice, we can flow that positivity onto others too in our presence. So what's one most instantaneous way to elevate our state of being? As many of you know, gratitude. We're going to dive into that. First, let's make the transition of just clearing out what might be held emotionally, mentally, physically, that we can just start to clean the slate, to bring in gratitude to fill us up. So as you step the feet apart a little wider than hips width, parallel, spread the toes, bend the knees. With a deep inhale, raise the arms forward and up. And with a big exhale through the mouth, bend the knees and bow forward. Shh. Try that a few times, like a cleansing waterfall. Shh. Letting the head go as you come down. Shh. Maybe even like sigh it out or roar it out if that's the kind of day or week you've had, just to unpack. Perhaps any clouds of heaviness. And as you feel ready, stay in the forward fold with your knees very bent, catching hold of opposite elbows, and just hang there for a few breaths, letting the spine unravel through the neck, letting the head release, maybe through gentle movement. Deepening the breath through the nose. And lifting the shoulders away from the neck as you let the weight of your head create space in the neck. Now sit the hands down as you come down to sit, rolling your spine upright so that you can stack your two palms at your heart center. Now bring intention into the posture of your body now, lengthening and rooting down. I invite you to call to mind in any way that you have felt supported today or this week, maybe by someone or a being like a pet, a circumstance, a synchronicity, a stranger, nature. Or perhaps you find appreciation in some gift that you received today, kind words, someone's presence, a listening ear. Or maybe you find gratitude in gifting yourself permission to relax, ability to let go of something you've held, to feel a little lighter. I invite you to dive into the various things you can feel genuine appreciation for as you sit here now beginning this practice. Making it authentic to you. Can you feel life force enlivening your physical body through the vehicle that is your breath? And as the breath releases, a cleansing process naturally occurs. Feel the support of that, those amazing interconnected systems within your body. What would you like to offer up this practice to today? Clarify an intention to inspire you with. And as promised, I'm going to continue the beginning of Bhastrika, or starting with Bhastrika bellows breath. So bending the elbows out to the sides with fists, sitting tall with the shoulders relaxed, breathing into the belly with the mouth closed and out through the nose with mouth closed. Equal inhale and exhale rhythmically for 1 minute. The arms raise up when you breathe in and the elbows bend when you breathe out. Let's begin. Release both hands and just feel for a moment what you've created through this pranayama. Then slow the breath down as you smoothen it through the nose, gently narrowing the back of your throat. Ujjayi breath. Let's come down to hands and knees, setting up for downward facing dog. So having the wrists a couple inches in front of your shoulders, fingers spread wide so the index are both facing the front. And then tucking the toes, lifting the hips high. Take a few breaths, arriving in Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Perhaps you'd like to shift around a bit. then as you start to hold still, wrap the triceps towards the floor. Broaden the shoulder blades wide across your back ribs. Look down and see that your feet are hips width apart, parallel. And then let your head just fall as you lift the shoulders away from it. Draw your sitting bones up and back. Firm the belly towards the back. Let's take one more deep breath. Feel the full length of your spine. Taking all of that length with you, inhale, shift forward into plank pose, top of a push-up, stacking the shoulders right on top of your wrists, gazing ahead of you on the floor and lengthening the neck. Keep spreading the shoulder blades wide across your back ribs, engaging the abdomen as you firm the heels back if your legs are straight. Now take it slow, maybe more than one breath, to glide forward and bend the elbows back, passing through a 90-degree bend where you feel the arms hug your side ribs before lowering all the way down. Resting your forehead on the mat, point your toes and firm the tops of your feet on the ground. Actively stretch the legs long as you feel your pubic bone root down. And with your wrists alongside your floating ribs, keep hugging the elbows to your sides. Feel the contraction of your upper back right under the shoulder blades as you float the chest off the floor and let the head gently follow. Take a few breaths in Cobra. Now feel the sides of your neck lengthen as you slide the shoulder blades down the back, broadening the collarbones. Keep stretching the tailbone and legs, keeping the legs heavy on the floor. Relax the face. Take one more deep inhalation here in Bhujangasana. Then exhale, lower your forehead again. This time, either again Cobra, or press the tops of your feet down so much that you can lift your pelvis into upward facing dog. We'll hold for a few breaths again. If you're taking upward dog, draw your shoulder heads back and see that they're right on top of your wrists. Your chest is forward of your wrists. Soften the shoulders down and lift the heart up. Keep stretching the legs long, firming the tops of the feet down. Then contract your belly. Lift the hips up, and let's come back to downward facing dog. Separating the feet wider than hips width apart. Walk your hands back towards your feet and turn out your legs from the hips so that your knees and your middle toes turn out in the same degree as you bend your knees to come down into a squat. Now you could be much higher and step the feet wider than the mat width if you have sensitive knees. Otherwise, come down and let your arms, your elbows, whatever you can reach, help display your inner thighs apart. Let the pelvis sink down, and from the lower spine up, lift the heart, broaden it, soften the shoulders down, and let's take 3 more deep breaths through the nose, warming breaths. Maybe join the hands in prayer. Then pressing down through both of your feet, think of lifting your pelvic floor as you engage the lower belly. Breathe in and exhale, rise up to stand. Parallel the feet. Inhale, sweep the arms overhead, catching hold of your left wrist. Exhale, lift the sideways and side bend to your right. Let's take a few breaths side bending. Hug the bottom of your front ribs towards your back. Feel your tailbone heavily reaching towards the ground between the heels. Relax the shoulders away from the neck. Take another deep breath into the left side of your rib cage, exhaling as you rise up. Switch hands. As you hold the right wrist, lift the sideways, and with an exhale, side bend to your left. Let your right foot feel a little heavier as you draw the tailbone downward towards the space between the heels. Breathe into the right side of your rib cage. As you exhale, rise up. Seal the palms and look up, breathing in, get tall. Exhale, hinge from your hips to bow. Press the ground ahead of your legs. Lift the chest as you inhale. Crawl the hands forward into plank pose. Exhaling as you lower forward, then down. You choose Cobra or upward facing dog. With legs firmly rooted, coil the chest up. Engage the belly to lift the hips. Downward facing dog. Let your feet come together in downward facing. As you inhale, raise the right leg up behind you. As you exhale, turn open at the right hip as you bend the knee. Cross the right ankle in front of your left thigh. Both sitting bones back. Let the right thigh splay open for a few more breaths. Now feel the energy of your arms and hands. Imagine as you're spreading your fingers on the ground that you're actively pressing the mat away from your left foot while lifting the hips back. Take another breath here. Exhale, bend the right knee towards your right elbow or armpit, stepping the right foot forward outside of your right hand. Lizard lunge for a few breaths. You could set the back knee down if you want it to be more restful. You could splay the right thigh open to feel more sensation in the outer right thigh and hip. Just make sure you flex the right foot if you do that. You could come down onto both elbows to just overall deepen this hip opener. You could reach for your left foot by backstroking the right arm to add a stretch into your left quadricep. Now, whatever variation you're exploring, try to remember it so that you can do the same on the next side later. Let's take 4 more deep breaths here. Feel the shoulders relaxed, the neck and heart space feel light, throat is open, spine lengthening towards the front of your mat. Massaging the breath in, releasing the breath out. If you have your back foot, let go of it. And let's keep the right foot outside of your right hand. Come back to a regular lunge for a moment though, with the right knee bent up. Then flex your right foot and scissor your right hip back to straighten the right leg while you extend your chest forward to bow inside of your right leg. So it's a wide-legged version of half split, Ardha Hanumanasana. Now as you breathe and lift the heart, and see if you can slide the shoulders further back, keeping the heart slightly lifted. Exhale, fold. Feel the belly lift towards the spine. Last couple of breaths here as you're lengthening equally from both outer hips to both armpits, the sides of your waist. Rebending your right knee, plant the right foot flat, step into downward facing dog. Bring the feet to touch. Breathe in, breathe out. Inhale, raise the left leg. Bending that knee, turn open at your left hip. Flex the left foot as you cross the left ankle in front of your right thigh, just above the right knee. As the ankle presses against the thigh, splay the left thigh open like a figure 4 shape. And as you root down through your hands, lift the hips and draw both sitting bones equally back for a few more breaths. Now, those of you who tend to hyperarch the lower back or are very flexible in it, make sure that you're sealing the bottom of your front ribs towards the back. One more deep breath. With an exhale, bend the left knee towards your left elbow or armpit and lightly set the foot outside of your left hand to lizard lunge. Now remember the variation you chose on the first side? Try to make your way into that, unless the side is very different. You could place back knee on the ground, you could splay the left thigh open, flexing the left foot, more for the outer thigh. You could set the elbows down, just overall deepening intensity. You could backstroke the left arm and catch hold of the right foot, adding the quadricep. Let's take 4 more conscious breaths here. The name of the song is Heart Sutra. An invitation to lead from the heart. Much of the gratitude practice. Gently release the back foot if you have it, but keep your left foot outside of your left hand as you step it on the floor to face forward. Flex the left foot, scissor the left hip back to straighten the left leg, but elongate your spine forward so it's going in two opposite directions, left hip back, but chest forward, folding inside of the left leg. With an inhale, lift your chest and roll the shoulders further down the back. With an exhale, keep a slight lift in your chest and fold in some more. A few more breaths. Feel the softness of the muscles on your face, like between the eyes, behind the ears. This time, inhale, bend the left knee, set the foot flat, step forward and exhale to fold. Inhale, circle the arms, rise up, take a version of a back bend, coiling the chest up as you lengthen the tailbone down. With an exhale, bend the knees slightly and bow forward, Surya Namaskar A. Inhale, lift the heart, lengthen the spine. Either jump to Chaturanga lightly or walk back to plank to lower. Inhale. Let's take about 3 to 5 breaths. Moving in meditation requires a steady focus in the mind. So choose something to steady your awareness on, whether it's the rhythmic sound of your breathing or the feeling of gratitude. Bend your knees, look ahead. Bottom of the exhale, lightly land at the top. 2 more sun A's. Inhale, lift the heart forward. Exhale, bow in. Root into the earth. Inhale, rise, open sky above. Exhale, bring that to your heart center. Inhale, sweep the space around you. Exhale, dive into it. Inhale, lift your heart forward. Step or lightly jump back to lower. Breathing in, float the heart space open. Breathing out from the center, lift the hips back. 3 to 5 breaths. Downward facing dog. With bent knees, look ahead of your hands. At the bottom of the exhale, lightly land at the top. Breathe in, lengthen forward. Exhale to fold. Inhale, sweep the arms, gazing. Palms meet in salutation and gratitude. Exhale, bring that to the heart. Inhale again, raise the arms. Exhale, bow down towards the earth. Inhale, lift the heart forward. Step or float back. Keep going. Full vinyasa or cat-cow. Then we'll meet in downward facing dog for a few breaths. Now again, bring the feet to touch in downward facing dog. As you inhale, raise the right leg behind you. As you exhale, bend the right knee and turn open at the hip. Breathing in, tack the left outer hip back. Breathing out, bend the right knee towards your nose, slowly rounding the back in plank before stepping the right foot directly between your hands. Spin the back heel down. Align the right heel to the arch of your left foot. Then cartwheel the arms to rise up into Warrior Two. With the left leg slightly facing the front of your mat, straighten it. And the right leg completely facing the front of your mat, bend it so the knee is right over the heel. Feel the pelvic bowl sitting upright as you lengthen the spine and relax the shoulders down. And then feel the extension of energy from your heart center out to your collarbones, your arms, past your fingertips, beyond your physical body, knowing your presence can extend. Breathe in, breathe out. 3 more breaths. Now, as you straighten the right leg to prepare for triangle pose, you might like a couple inches shorter stance. Slide your hips towards the rear edge of your mat and reach the right hand beyond your right knee before setting it down onto your right leg or just to the right outside of it. Wrap the right outer hip under your body and reach your tailbone towards your left outer heel. Lengthen all of your spine as you press the shoulder blades down your back and turn the chest slightly to face the sky. Perhaps you're looking up past the left thumb. Steady focus with the breath. Wrap the left tricep to face the left wall. Sweep the left arm overhead towards the front wall and keep drawing the shoulder blades down the back. Keep turning the chest slightly towards the sky. Last 2 breaths in extended triangle. Lower your 2 hands to frame your right foot. Step back to downward facing or add a vinyasa if you need to keep flowing. Centering on your breath. At downward dog, bring your feet to touch. Then inhale, raise your left leg. As you exhale, bend the knee and turn open at the hip. Inhale, tack your right outer hip back. Exhale, slowly bend the left knee towards your nose, rounding the back as you shift through plank, and lightly step the foot forward between the hands. Spin the right heel down. Align left heel to arch of right foot and windmill the arms to rise. Virabhadrasana 2. As you straighten the right leg, feel the toes slightly facing the front of your mat. As you bend the left knee, left leg completely facing the front of your mat. Feel your pelvis upright, spine tall, shoulders relaxed. Now imagine you could breathe in to the center of your chest, energetically the heart center. And then as you breathe out, you radiate the energy of your heart, the intention you're cultivating out through your wingspan, your arms, your fingertips, and beyond the physical body. Breathing in and breathing out. Last 2 breaths in Virabhadrasana 2. Then straightening your left leg, you might shorten the stance a couple inches for triangle. Slide your hips towards the back edge of your mat as you reach the left hand forward, then down. Feel the left outer hip wrap underneath your body as you direct your tailbone to reach towards your right outer heel. Lengthening the spine forward, shoulder blades down the back. Turn your chest slightly towards the sky, maybe gazing up. Can you feel balance here of rooting into the earth, support, and rising and expanding this interconnected relationship? Last 2 breaths. Rotate the right tricep towards the right wall and sweep the right arm overhead towards the front wall. Keep creating space in your neck as you turn the chest towards the sky. With an exhale, plant your hands on the ground, step into your vinyasa, or go straight into downward facing dog. Deep breaths. Downward dog. Bend the knees and look beyond your hands. Bottom of the exhale, land sitting, whether you want to slide your legs through the arms or walk forward and sit down, however you're going to get there for 1 round of boat Navasana. As you're sitting down with the legs in front of you, tilt your weight back just enough to lift your legs off the floor, whether knees are bent or legs straight. Hands can be on the ground to support you, behind your thighs to support you, or arms forward or up. Now try to lift the spine and feel light in it by rooting down to your sitting bones, by drawing your navel in and up towards the heart. Close your eyes. Quality of breath. Imagine breathing into the base of your spine as you inhale. Exhale, 7. Now into your lower belly, inhale. Exhale, 6. Into your upper belly, breathe in. Exhale, 5. Into your heart center, breathe in. Exhale, 4. Into your throat center, breathe in. Exhale, 3. Between your eyebrows, inhale. Exhale, 2. Above the crown of your head, breathe in. Exhale, gently lower your knees apart. Bring the soles of your feet to touch on the ground. Baddha Konasana. Slide your heels close to your pelvis. Catch hold of your outer feet or big toes. And rooting down through the pelvis, lift the heart. Then extend the heart forward to fold. A few breaths. You might opt to crawl the hands in front of you. Feel the widening of your lower back as you also open your hips. Bound angle pose. Last breath here. Now leading with your chest, breathe in to slowly rise up. Catch hold of the outer thighs and close the knees. Catch hold of your shins or the backs of your thighs and round into a ball. Beginning to rock forward and back a few times, massaging up and down the length of your spine and building momentum, where we all eventually meet in chair pose with the feet touching, the knees touching, the weight sinking towards your heels for a few breaths. Now in chair, feel the support of navel hugging spine. Lift your heels. Relax the shoulders. Find your balance here towards the balls of your feet and toes. Though the heels are lifted, see if you can sink the hips a little lower behind you. Taking the last 3 breaths as you gaze ahead. Relax the eyes, but steady them. Join your hands at your heart, root down through the soles of your feet, and lifting the right knee, rise to stand for tree. Turn out your right leg at the hip. Hug the right foot inside of your left ankle, calf, or thigh. Feel the balance of your 2 hips, the strength and aliveness of your center, your rootedness into the ground support. As you get taller with each breath, maybe raise the arms up. Any way you want to play with it for a few more breaths. Vrikshasana. Marrying the palms at your heart, take another inhale to lift the heart towards your thumbs. And with an exhale, set the right foot next to the left. Feel your feet touching as you bend your knees to touch. Sink your weight again towards the heels and draw your sitting bones down, lifting the arms in chair for a few breaths. Now as your legs hug your midline, even the hips hug your midline. Begin to lift your heels, slow and controlled lift. Coming onto the balls of your feet or toes, see if you can sink the hips a little lower behind you. About 3 more breaths. Feel your center contained. And with that strength, find softness at the same time. Softness in the breath, the face. Join your hands in prayer. Set the soles of your feet down. Press the earth with your right foot and lift the left knee. Flex the foot. Rising to stand, turn out your left leg and hug the inside of your right leg with the sole of your left foot. Tree pose. So anywhere below or above your right knee, just as long as you're not pressing against the side of your knee. Feel the balance of your pelvis, containing your center, rooting into the earth, rising tall. Maybe lift the arms. Fullness of breath, cleansing exhales. All these interconnected systems, creating balance. As you take another deep breath, join your hands in prayer at your heart. Then exhale, set the left foot next to the right. Again, feet touching, bend your knees, sink your weight back to your heels and chair. Now, option 1, take a twist in chair. Hold it for a few breaths on one side, then go to the other side. Option 2, open the knees apart and come into crow arm balance, placing the hands a foot in front of your toes so the arms are parallel. Looking about 3 feet on the floor ahead of your hands. To bend the elbows back, then shift your weight forward to stack your knees high on your upper arms close to your armpits. Hollowing the belly, press the floor away, plus the upper arms away with your knees. And maybe the feet come together to touch off the ground. Feel the center lift. Eventually, whether you're twisting in chair or you're in crow, take your choice of vinyasa to get back to downward facing dog on your own. Arriving in downward facing dog, step the feet wider than hips width apart. Maybe halfway back, so you can pick up your right hand and cross it outside of your hips so that you're focusing the twist at your waistline, rotating the rib cage. Looking under your left armpit towards the sky, drop your head, relax your jaw and neck. A couple more breaths. Then as you're ready, switch hands, the right hand down, left hand crosses to outer right ankle or calf. Root the left heel firmly into the ground. Balance the hips and rotate your rib cage. Looking under your right armpit towards the sky, relax your neck, let your head be heavy. As you set your 2 hands down, come back to a regular downward facing dog. Bring your feet to touch again. Then inhale, float forward to plank. Rotate the triceps back and broaden the shoulder blades away from your neck. Look forward, engage the belly. Rolling onto the outside edge of your left foot, flex your left foot. Now you could stack the feet. You could have an accommodation or balance modified by stepping the right foot in front of you like a kickstand, or I invite you to try a hip opener coming into tree, bending the right knee in front of you, turning out the right leg, and hugging the sole of your right foot against your left leg, anywhere below or above the knee. Now feel the support of the ground again. As you're flexing the left foot, press the entire outer edge of the foot into the floor and feel your left hip rise. You might raise the right arm overhead towards the front of your mat. Maybe you're here for one more breath, maybe several. We'll eventually move through a vinyasa if you choose, and meet in downward facing dog. And there's always an option to rest in child's pose. If you're taking the vinyasa, it's kind of fun to take that tree pose down with you through plank, then both feet on the ground for cobra or upward dog. As we meet in downward facing dog, give your head some movement and feel the neck release. Deep inhale through the nose. Open your mouth wide and stick out your tongue, lion's breath. Then rebalance the breath through your nose to feel the strength of Ujjayi Pranayama. Feet touching. Inhale, shift forward to plank. Shoulders right over wrists, gaze forward, broaden the shoulder blades, wrap the triceps back. Engaging the belly, roll onto the outside edge of the right foot flexed. Kickstand, left foot in front of you, left arm up, or stack the feet, flex both feet. Or tree pose, bend the left knee in front of you, turn out the left leg, and hug the sole of your left foot on the inside of the right leg. Pressing the ground away, lifting the right hip, maybe raising the left arm overhead towards the front of your mat. Feel the shoulders snug in their sockets. Maybe you're here for one breath, maybe more. You might even take tree pose with you through plank and chaturanga. Whether you choose to add a vinyasa or rest, again, let's meet in downward facing dog. This time, releasing the jaw by fluttering the lips as you breathe out. Take a deep belly breath in and let the lips go. One more time, deep inhale. Let the lips flutter. From downward dog, walk your hands back to meet your feet in a forward fold at the rear of your mat. We're going to stretch the wrists in Padahastasana, so see that your feet are hips width apart and parallel. Feel free to bend your knees as much as needed here, lifting the toes and slipping your palms face up under the soles of your feet. Try to get the toes to meet the inner creases of your wrists to offer the outer wrists and forearms a stretch. While leaning more weight towards the balls of your feet, breathe in and lift your heart forward, slide the shoulders away from your neck. Keeping that space there, hinge from your hips to bow further. Let the head fall while you float the shoulders up away from it. One more. Inhale, lift the heart forward, stretch the sides of your torso. Keeping that length, exhale, fold in. If you can, bend the elbows apart to help lift the shoulders away from the neck. Maybe shaking and nodding the head a few times. Deep breath in, slow breath out. Slip the palms down. Press to your feet. Inhale, circle the arms to rise all the way up to stand. Palms together at your heart. So let's bring the feet to touch as we prepare for Uddita Hasta, Parangushtasana, hand to big toe. Starting with the left hand on your left hip. So I'm going to talk like I'm your mirror here. Hopefully that works. Bend your right knee in front of you and catch it with your right hand, flexing the right foot. Take a moment to feel your two hips rebalance like a seesaw, your center contained. Press into the ground, stand tall. Now you could keep the knee bent and hold it open like this, or catch hold of the inside of the leg to clasp your big toe. You could also use a strap to straighten the leg to whatever degree possible that the spine can stay upright. Now make sure your two shoulders are still right above your two hips. Then turning out the right arm slowly. Now only turn out the leg to the point where you're as you root into the earth and expand and rise for about 3 more breaths. Like hand to big toe pose. Uddita Hasta Parangushtasana. Take your time. Start to gaze forward if you're looking away from the front. Bring your right leg forward now. Raise the left arm. Stay here, balancing the hips, standing upright, or switch hands, whether the knee is bent or the leg is straight. If the leg is straight, catch the outer ankle or foot. Keep flexing the foot. Use your right thumb and hook the right hip crease downward to re-level the pelvis. Press down with the left foot and lift up through the spine. Then rotate the chest to the right. Perhaps reach the right arm behind you and look towards it. With each inhale, root into the earth and lift up through the center line of your body. With your exhale, steady the hips still and rotate your rib cage. Draw the shoulder blades down your back. Parita, Uddita Hasta Parangushtasana. Revolved hand to big toe pose. Now steady your breathing and start to look forward again. Flex the right foot, keep it lifted, and raise the arms up like boat pose. Get really tall for one deep breath. And then exhale, set the right foot down. Let it go. Bend the knees and circle the hips. Shake it out. Whatever you need here. Just feel like a noodle for a moment. All right, grab that strap if you're going to use it for side 2. Bring your feet to touch. Steady the eyes on something. Where you're focusing your eyes can really help with balance too. Bring your right hand to your right hip. As soon as you lift your left foot off the ground, flex the foot. So bend that knee in front of you and catch the knee with your left hand, unless you're already using a strap around the foot. Now, feel the balance of your two hips. This is your center right here, and the hips play a huge role in containing that. If you're going to straighten the leg, bring the arm inside the leg and clasp your big toe if you're not using a strap. Notice if that pulls the left shoulder out of socket. Draw that shoulder back and down. As you realign your shoulder girdle above your pelvic girdle, you help to connect down the center line of your body. Steady breathing, turn out your left leg. Open the left leg, open the right arm. So finding the degree of opening the leg and arm that you can still feel upright through the center line of your body. Feel the breath in, balance with the breath out. Maybe look past the right thumb. A few last breaths here. Gazing forward. Bring the left leg in front of you. Raise the right arm. If you're going to stay here, feel free. If you're going to twist, whether the left knee is bent or the leg is straight, switch hands. Catch the outer foot if your leg is straight. Left thumb hooks outer left hip crease down to re-level the pelvic bowl. Press into the ground and lift the spine as you breathe in. At your waistline, exhale, twist. Reach the left arm behind you if you like and look at it. Each inhale, feel the rooting down and lifting up. Exhale, turning the rib cage. All these beautiful systems working in balance, in harmony. Now, looking forward again, keep flexing your left foot, lift it, raise the arms up. Take one deep breath, get really tall, and set the foot down. This time, let's step the feet apart. Turn out your legs from your hips, come into a wide-legged squat. Make sure that the middle of your knees are pointing in the same direction as the middle toes under them, whatever the turnout is. Pelvis as upright as possible. Press through the feet. Inhale, circle the arms and rise up to stand. Exhale, bend the knees open and press the palms down towards the earth. Straighten the legs and inhale, sweep the arms towards your heart like an invitation. Bend the knees and exhale, radiate the palms out to your sides. A few more times in this moving meditation. Feel the gesture. Inhale, up high, expansion. Exhale, down low, rooted towards the earth. Inhale, up high, invitation to the heart center. Exhale, bend wide, radiate arms out to the sides. One more. Inhale, lift towards the sky. Exhale, down towards the earth. Inhale up towards the heart. Exhale down, expanding. Now stay in that wide squat and start to lean more weight into your left foot. You might have to crawl it out to the side. Place your hands on your thighs or join your hands at your heart as we enter Skandasana. Straightening the right leg, curl the right toes up, flex the foot. Maybe sink the hips to whatever degree. You could also place your hands on the ground or on blocks. You could place the left arm inside of the left thigh, raise the right arm and turn the chest up. You could wrap the right arm behind you. Maybe both arms in a bind. Let's take a couple last breaths before we switch. Now, as we pass through center, find that wide-legged squat. So both legs are turned out, both knees are bent. Really important to be mindful what direction the knees are facing. Bend the right knee, flex the left foot, toes come up as you sink the hips, whatever degree. Maybe you cross the right arm in front of the right thigh and raise the left arm, twisting. Maybe you take a bind of your choice. Feel lightness at the heart space as the shoulders melt down. Last 2 breaths. Skandasana. Coming back to that wide-legged squat. Back to center. Parallel your feet in this wide stance. Bring your hands behind you, interlace the fingers or grab a strap. Lift the heart as you breathe in and draw the shoulder blades down. Hinge from your hips as you breathe out and bow forward, lifting the arms away from your lower back and opening your heart space, lifting the shoulders away from your ears and lengthening your neck. Feel your weight tilt forward heavier onto the balls of your feet. For those of you that have a headstand practice, feel free to come into that if you choose, like tripod headstand. If you want to add a twist here, hugging one calf and the other, feel free to vary it on your own. Or Padangusthasana, clasping the big toes with your index and middle fingers and pulling yourself further into the forward folds. Just a few more breaths in this inversion. Going upside down is such a wonderful way to shift however you're feeling in the moment. If you need to sort of energetically clear the slate, like if you're feeling a lot in your head, a lot of chattering mind, that and bellows breath, I feel, are quite instantaneous in their effects. Now take your time. When you decide to, place your hands on the floor ahead of you to lift your spine halfway first, pausing there to bend your knees and bring your hands to your hips. Then leading with your chest, use a slow inhale to rise up. Let's come down to sit, preparing for bridge pose or upward facing bow. If you have a different back bend, heart opener, feel free to take that. Just doing it one time, so take it for 5 to 10 deep breaths. Those of you coming into bridge, set the feet parallel, hips distance in front of you. Then lie down on your back and bring your arms straight down by your sides to locate your feet. You want to shoulders, head, and feet, lift the pelvis while actively lengthening the fronts of your thighs forward. Keeping them parallel, spin the inner thighs slightly towards the ground. Then walk the upper arms closer together under your back ribs. Keeping the arms straight, if the hands touch, maybe they interlace. Tilt the chin back to open your throat and feel the full capacity of your lungs as you open the front of your torso, hips, and thighs. It's your call. When you decide you're ready to come out, use an exhalation to slowly release one vertebra at a time onto the ground. Try not to hug your knees into your chest just yet. When you land your pelvis, choose a supine spinal twist first. Helps to neutralize your spine. You could simply lift the legs and bend the knees together. Open the arms wide like a T. While grounding both shoulders, you could drop both knees to one side and look away from your knees. Unless you have another variation of spinal twist you prefer. Take about 5 breaths, then switch sides. On your own, switching sides. Is grounded. When you finish both sides of your spinal twist, choose one last posture to wind down with. Perhaps you practice shoulder stand or legs up the wall, or you might want to sit up and come into a forward fold, straightening the legs forward in Paschimottanasana. Take a few last breaths consciously, sustaining your exhales slower than your inhales. And perhaps breathing into your stomach and out to your mouth. All different techniques to help relax your nervous system deeper. Then, as you feel ready, find a comfortable position to rest your body in for a few minutes of stillness, Shavasana. Now for the last 2 minutes, stay lying down, and I'd like to guide you through just a blessing for our bodies, a blessing of appreciation. So as you close your eyes and allow the breath in to fill your physical being with life force, feel where that breath expands and greet it there with a thank you. As you feel the breath release, notice any areas of the body that soften in response. As you feel the weight of your physical body on the ground, bring your attention to your skull, feeling the weight of your head completely relaxed on the earth, perhaps on a prop. Gratitude for this that carries the weight of the brain and the functions of the brain that give rise to movement and sensation throughout all ends of your physical body. And even the intellect, the cognition, the memories. Imagine allowing breath to enter the brain and the skull with a feeling of thank you. Travel your inward gaze down to your heart, the physical organ of your heart. Perhaps you feel a subtle beat, a rhythm, pulsation of life. As you dwell your mind's eyes on this powerful organ, the last to leave the human body when the physical life expires. The heart, the holder of emotions, the projector of love, the ability to connect to other beings. Bless this heart with appreciation. Imagine allowing your breath to fill up space there, as though embracing your own heart. Now travel your gaze down your pelvis, down to the soles of your feet. These feet that carry the weight of your physical body many times. Imagine the breath in, kindly touching, massaging these feet with loving kindness, with gratitude for having taken this physical body to so many places and perhaps enduring much movement. And take a deeper breath in. Imagine expanding the breath to all ends of your body, any areas just need a little appreciation right now. Open the mouth, feel the clarity, the release. And as you take deeper breaths, inspire gentle movement in any parts of your body to slowly wake it up, as though you're waking up someone that you love very gently. You might ease into a stretch. You might turn over to one side or rock forward, eventually lifting this amazing body of so many systems, like a universe within itself, up to sit upright, sealing the palms to meet at the heart. What does gratitude feel in physical form? How does it feel in your posture? How does it feel in your breath? How does it feel through sound as we close this practice with one Om? Take a deep breath in. The light in me bows to the light in you. Namaste.